and welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back in. Here we are doing another episode. I'm trying to figure out some things for late night. Lately, I have to find the clips that I want to choose. I did not do it. I'm very sorry about not doing it, but I don't care. Here we are, back at it again, doing another show. Where are my notes? Okay. What's going on? I'm wearing, this week's episode is essentially Warner Brothers Media, just like encompassing. I'm looking at all the stories. So I got up and I put on a Warner Brothers Media shirt. If you can see Maverick walking in the background. But if you're looking, you can see I'm wearing a 30th anniversary Cartoon Network shirt that I got from Cartoon Network. And yeah, that's it. That's what's going on. Maverick, sit down, buddy. Oh, God. This is what happens. You live in an apartment, the maintenance people, or somebody with a cart. A lot of people have those, like a wheeling cart wagon. That's it. They'll come by and everything shakes. Everything just shakes, and then it makes so much noise on the concrete floor, and then the dog gets up and he starts barking. Nova never acted like this. Just saying. Today is the 2-year anniversary of Maverick's Gotcha Day. It's wonderful, and it'll be 3 in October. So that's what we're dealing with. I just finished making pizza dough. If you see flour on my hands or dough on my fingers, it's very possible because I just finished it. I use I double the dough recipe. I double the recipe. It's half. You can use bread flour. I don't use bread flour. Use all-purpose flour. I use all-purpose flour and the 00 pizza flour, which is expensive. But it lasts a long time. It's enough for me to make four pizza things. What's it called? Crust. four doughs of pizza, and at a time. One bag probably lasts, I don't know, 12 or 14 pizzas, something along those lines. It doesn't matter. And then just some salt, olive oil, yeast. Mix it all up. There's rhyme and reason to how you do it. Quite honestly, right now, I hate saying the word honestly. I hate that so much. The television is on, and for once, finally, the YouTube multi-view is doing what it needs to do. I'm watching the U.S. Open. I've got all 4 of the feeds up. When I had to get rid of some streaming. So right now I'm without Paramount Plus. They are offering 2 months for $1 per month. So maybe I might hop back on just to rewatch Sonic 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is fantastic. And I saw some movies this week, so we'll get into that in a second. But I thought I was going to miss. So I got rid of Paramount Plus, and I don't have ESPN Plus because Mothership, as they call it, ESPN will be releasing in a couple of months, and it'll be free for cable subscribers or YouTube TV and Hulu with Live TV. It'll be free for those subscribers. And quite frankly, I only use ESPN Plus to watch golf, sometimes hockey, but other than that, and 30 for 30. But I think a lot of the 30 for 30s are on Hulu right now. And it wasn't even that often. I just liked having the accessibility. Like it's the same way that for HBO Max, having all the Cartoon Network shows there would be best instead of having them spread across Hulu, now Disney Plus, and other avenues. Regardless. I don't understand, like Paramount Plus. This is what I like about Paramount Plus and even Peacock is that for Paramount Plus, you can have something like Hey Arnold or Rocko's Modern Life on that platform, but I can also go to Hulu and watch Hey Arnold or Nickelodeon's Doug. On Disney Plus, can I watch Disney Doug? Oh, hold on, let me triple check that. I don't want to sound stupid. I'm almost positive I cannot watch Disney's Doug. And I also have a computer in front of me, but I'm choosing to do it on my phone because it is much faster and I don't want you to see my eyes as I as I dart around. Okay, on Disney Plus, there's Disney's Doug, and there's also Doug's first movie, and there's also Doug Days and Doug's Special Mission from the Up franchise. But it does not look like you can have Nickelodeon's Doug. Nope, because it's just the 3 seasons. Interesting. The 3 seasons of Disney's Doug. They went to high school, I think, or middle school. They went to middle school. Where do you watch Nickelodeon's Doug? Again, I have a computer in front of me, and I choose not to use it. It says it's on Disney Plus, but that's not the case. Here, let's look up the first episode, Doug Bags a Nematode. I clicked on the Disney Plus icon. It's starting to play. Nope, that's the wrong one. Now it's in my continue watching. Hey, Disney's Snow White is here too. Anyway, I'm watching the U.S. Open. It's the multi-view for, I was going to say The Simpsons. The multi-view, because that's all I watch on Disney Plus. The multi-view for YouTube TV is good. It's fine. It's, but I also, they said, they expanded it in the past month or so. I really wish that but by expanding, I mean, they opened it up from outside of like just sports and news. So now you have your local channels, your ABC, CBS, your Fox, and your NBC. And also, prior to me sitting down and recording Late Night Lately a couple of minutes ago, I saw, or about half an hour ago, I was looking at the networks for the U.S. Open, PGA golf, and I went to check on something on YouTube TV, and I don't, it doesn't matter. But I also saw that you can watch CNN as well as one of the golf streams at the same time, and that's the multi-view I want. Not particularly CNN. I get enough of that. I get enough of CNN, period. But I want to be able to use I didn't click on it, but I want to be able to use the multi-view for anything and with anything. I want to be able to watch Cartoon Network and golf at the same time. Or if this, on the weekends, The Simpsons is on during the day, and yes, I can watch The Simpsons anytime. But it'd be great to have that FX on at the same time golf is on. The only time the like watching multi-view without sports and just watching local news worked for me was this past Tuesday. I was cycling. I was on the bike. I got home from doing leg day. I was on the bike doing a Power Zone endurance class. We're almost done with the program. No big deal. And I wanted to see Good Morning America, CBS Mornings, and the Today Show at the same time. And unfortunately, I also had to watch our local Fox affiliate, which does not have a morning news show. It just has our morning Fox affiliate. And it was nice to go around between the three networks. And then I tried the cable news multi-view, which was CNN, MSNBC. Okay, that works. The Weather Channel, I think, and Fox News or something. I forgot what the other one was, but it was definitely Fox News. And I only bounced between CNN and MSNBC. Oh my God. Multi-view, it should just work and be. I understand the technology with it, and their excuse right now is we haven't expanded it to everything else because it's hard on the servers or some BS like that. However, I do think it would be great. Sorry, I checked to see if it was sunny outside so I can go to the pool. We pay so much for rent. I want to go to the pool, but I do think that it is important that with the $84 per month or $83 per month, however much it is, that I split with a friend. Thank Christ. But with how much it costs, I think that they need to start building in more value into the YouTube TV ecosystem. Right now, I think the most valuable thing they have is the ability to watch the free movies that are all available on YouTube. So on YouTube, if you go to YouTube right now, and you're a subscriber to YouTube Premium, as I am, YouTube Music, then you get access to not just ad-free videos and ad-free music, but you also get access to free movies that, yes, can be found sometimes on Pluto TV or Tubi TV, or even just other streaming platforms. But a lot of the times they can't, or they just left something like the movie Rush starring Chris Hemsworth. It's a movie I love. I'm not kidding. I don't know what it is about racing movies, but I love them. The Gran Turismo movie was so good. Oh my gosh. I love Ford v Ferrari. I saw that in theaters, me and a bunch of other dads, just all by ourselves separately watching the movie. It was fantastic. I loved it so much I bought it. Ask me how many times I've watched it since I bought it. One other time. Not a joke. So I've seen it twice, but I love that movie. I do love it. And there are moments that I can think about today that, so good. But that's what YouTube TV offers. On the other side, conversely, Hulu with live TV offers Hulu alongside the live TV component. So it kind of makes sense that it costs that much. And although $80, it's still too much money. If they were somehow able to get back down to 60, which they will not be. I remember the day they went when YouTube TV went from like 60 to 72 because of Viacom, and it was ridiculous. But if they were able to, build in more value without raising the price, then YouTube TV and Hulu Live TV, they'd be unstoppable. They'd beat Spectrum. They are beating Spectrum and all the other cable platforms, but they would it'd be disgusting with how good they are. And I use the word disgusting, so that's, I'm tapped into the culture. Zeitgeist. As I mentioned, I did see some movies. Last week I saw Friendship, then I saw The Phoenician Scheme. On Tuesday, I saw Ballerina, starring my beautiful future bride, Ana de Armas, and boy howdy, I went into that movie knowing it's part of the John Wick universe, but not expecting it to be like every other John Wick movie, and it took my breath away. There are action scenes in that movie that I thought they had to have taken this from John Wick, because there's stuff that I've never seen before. In every John Wick movie, there's always stuff you've never seen before, and Ballerina just consistently, every scene one-upped itself. Even the boring stuff, it didn't take itself too seriously. Even the boring stuff, it moved on at a nice clip, except towards the end when they are doing some reveals and some twists. When they reveal some things, it makes you think they're just kind of throwing things into a movie that's already 2 hours and 6 minutes long. But I loved every second of it. I have one. I'm not kidding. I can overlook truly everything in the movie except for one thing. The movie starts out with Anna's character and her father, like her home being attacked and her father being killed, and the young girl that is playing her is at most 10 years old. She's not a teenager. She's at most 10, and if she's 12. Then she can be 12, okay? There's a chyron that says 12 years later, and we are set to believe that Anna is playing a 24-year-old woman. I'm 30. I'll be 32 in a couple of weeks. There is no way I can play a 27-year-old. Anna's beautiful. She looks gorgeous, and she's 37 years old. There's no possible way she's playing a 24-year-old. What they could have done was age up the girl, but they had to make her so innocent and kind of not weak, but like innocent and not able to do anything to save her father. Why would they say 12 years later? For the sake of the John Wick universe, they said 12 years later. Speaking of John Wick, he is in the movie. Keanu is in the movie, and if they gave him third billing, I wouldn't be mad, because he's in the last third of the movie. Which maybe like there's a point he showed up like, I don't know, 20 minutes in, And also, he speaks more in this movie than he speaks in the entire John Wick franchise. That's no over exaggeration. They give him lines back to back, and it's crazy. And you, I remember when they were doing a press for John Wick Chapter 4, or it might have been Chapter 3, when it was revealed that Keanu would go back into the John Wick scripts prior to shooting, and he would just take out lines of dialogue from John, and and he would just like speak in like one or two words, one or two sentences. In this movie, since he's speaking sentences back to back, it really looks like John is stupid. He's like, you're doing it. You have to fight. Continue being yourself. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But man, this movie's great. There's a fight scene with grenades. Oh my goodness. And everybody's doing a good job. And the people that are overacting are doing it just enough. Ugh. Ballerina was fantastic. They obviously they want to make a franchise out of the Ballerina thing. And obviously Lionsgate wants to continue the John Wick universe with a bad TV show on Peacock that I will never ever watch. I will never support. Mel Gibson. Fuck that guy. But they want to continue making, John Wick Chapter 5, which they don't need, but they will do it regardless. They want to do more spinoffs. Ballerina doesn't have to be a franchise. In fact, they could leave it as a one-off movie and I'd be fine. It did not perform very well, so I don't know if they would continue to make it a Ballerina 2. But it was good. It was good. And I wouldn't mind seeing another John Wick movie as long as they are able to do it to that quality. I came home and took Maverick out. The movie was at 10:15 in the morning. I came home, I took Maverick out, and I immediately sat down on the computer and went to Wikipedia to look at who was the director. And lo and behold, it's Len Wiseman from the Underworld series. The movies that are so bad, just movies that I don't even say I like or dislike movies. Those movies are not good. But man, he did such a good job with the movies. And I looked at the production for Ballerina. They shot it. They went back. They shot it in 2022 and 2023. They came back for additional shooting in February 2024. And then this movie was just, I assume, being worked on and all that stuff and releasing now. It's a fantastic movie. And if those reshoots made it a better movie, then I would hate to see the first iteration. But man, it was great. It was great. Everybody did a good job. And I just, give me more Ana de Armas. She's beautiful. And I would marry her today if she wanted. Well, she's with Tom Cruise, so. All right, let's get into this. I've been talking for 20 minutes and I haven't even talked about the main stories. This comes from Variety. Michael Schneider writes, HBO Family, Thriller Max, and other multiplex channels are going to be shut down by Warner Bros. Discovery. These are all, not HBO Max, HBO Family. There are other, did I say HBO Max? It doesn't matter. There are other networks that still exist that have been staples of the HBO, Stars, Showtime families. And if you grew up with cable and you saw on the channel guide, HBO Family and Stars Black was one, which I fucking hate. And Showtime East, Showtime West, HBO East, HBO West. That there's multitudes of ways to watch these networks. If you haven't noticed, I subscribe to, I have the Disney bundle since I got rid of ESPN Plus, I did the Disney bundle with Max. And so I have Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max. And under on Hulu, you can see Max and you can see the different channels that they offer for HBO. So you can see HBO, HBO2, HBO East, HBO West, HBO Action, whatever. Some of those exist on cable, but there's other ones that exist on cable that don't exist on the streaming platform. In the same way that if you go to Paramount Plus, you can see CBS News, movies, all that stuff, and Showtime, and then that's it. You don't see anything else. HBO Family, Thriller Max, Movie Max, and Outer Max are all going to be ousted. This is from Variety via Cord Cutters News, which Spectrum alerted them as saying effective on or after August 15th, 2025, those networks will cease programming and no longer be available. HBO Family aired kid-friendly shows and movies. More importantly, they aired Crashbox, a show that I've never seen. In the time that we've had HBO from between when I was in high school and now, I've never seen Crashbox, but it's always been on the air. And so it's unfortunate that we're going to see those networks leave, rather. Speaking of Cord Cutters News, Luke Boma over there writes, HBO shutting down multiple networks is likely just the start of many cable TV networks shutting down in 2025. And I hate to be so sensationalistic. I mean, the way that he's putting it, I hate to agree with something that is a little bit hyperbolic, but yes, as we are pushing into a streaming only future, we're going to see more companies or big conglomerates just say, what are we running this cable platform for? Remember Fuse TV? Fuse TV was, I don't know if it's still around, but it might be. Let's see. Is Fuse TV? Fuse TV. If it is, I will be so surprised. My goodness gracious. It seems to still be replaced by Nuvo TV. Merged into Fuse on September 30th, 2015, but the website's still at fuse.tv. You can watch shows like Out TV and Proud. Out and Proud, yeah. Jasmine is a Star. Bollywed. If I click on any one of these, I'm going to click on Out and Proud. Is Logo still around? Yeah, it's live. Wow, it's crazy. Is Logo still around? We're going to see shows, secondary channels, just kind of go the way of as TV shows do, as TV networks do, is just disappear and just not have any focus on it. While it's unfortunate that is going to happen, do we necessarily need those outlets in a format that people are not watching? When you can just go to Max and watch whatever stale thing is there, because they don't have a lot of stuff there. As Luke Boma says, smaller networks such as MTV's secondary channels, MTV2, MTV Classic, and BET's niche offerings, BET Her, BET Hip Hop, BET Soul, are prime candidates for shutdown in 2025. I think, BET has BET Plus, and I'm sure it's doing extremely well for the segment that subscribes to it, in the same way that AMC Plus is doing well for the segment that subscribes to it. People who want to watch AMC shows, as well as, Shudder and I think BritBox or Acorn. I don't know. Oh, Sundance as well. But, whoever owns BET now, or whomever's going to buy BET whenever it's sold, I wonder if they will go the same route as I used to work at Bounce TV here in Atlanta, Georgia. And as niche as it is, you can still get it kind of nationwide, free programming and everything. I wonder if it will go kind of that route, and you can subscribe to BET Plus, you get all the BET shows, the sister networks, and you get the BET Plus shows as well. So BET shows, the sister networks, and BET Plus. And then also, would they do something like Tubi is big? So would they partner with Tubi and say, and the reason I say Tubi is because there's a lot of black-led shows and movies on there that are disgusting. They're horrible, and I do not like them. So I use disgusting in two ways today. I don't like the way that they're portraying my people. It's ridiculous. But it is would they offer BET Her or BET Hip Hop on that platform in the same way that you can go to Tubi, Pluto TV, and look at, TV Land Classics and Nickelodeon Classics and Kid TV and Vivo Music Channel, things like that. But on YouTube TV, all I have is, I don't know if I have, you can hide networks, which is great because I hide Fox News and Fox Business and Fox Weather. Although I've heard that Fox Weather is really, really good because they just talk about weather. But as I scroll through, I'm looking out. Okay, so on my my BET, on my YouTube TV, I have MTV Classic and MTV. On MTV right now, they're airing Big Bang Theory on Friday, June 13th, 2025 at 3:33. And the reason I have MTV Classic is because they always play music videos. Right now, they're playing '90s Nation, which is fantastic. What's hold on, what? Oh yes. All right, I don't want to get a copyright strike, but yes, oh, it's wonderful. That's fantastic. See, that's the reason I have that, so I can turn. I see Rock Block is on at 5 p.m. I can go. I want to watch Rock Block. That's fantastic. They failed to sell BET in 2023. I know how much Sherry Redstone wanted for BET, but man, I would have offloaded that instead of laying people off. Anyway, these channels with dwindling primetime viewership, MTV2 averaged just 48,000 viewers in 2023, are struggling to justify their existence as audiences migrate to on-demand platforms. Universal Kids, if you recall, which was Universal's kid, it was like their Disney and their Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. They shut down Universal Kids early 2025 because children can go to YouTube and watch shows there or whatever quote unquote content they want. Nickelodeon only airs SpongeBob. I talked about this on LinkedIn Logs this week. Nickelodeon only airs SpongeBob. Cartoon Network, by the grace of God, is still around, but I think Disney's doing it best because between Disney and Disney Plus, Disney Channel and Disney Plus, they're getting new shows. Phineas and Ferb you can watch Phineas and Ferb live, the new season, the continuation, the new season on Disney Channel, but also you can watch all 10 episodes on Disney Plus. I can go to Disney Plus right now and watch all 10 episodes, or I can just go to Disney Channel and watch them with the likes of Gravity Falls and some new Beyblade show and some new Yu-Gi-Oh show, which still exists. Here's the thing. After Nova died, that Sunday after, obviously I had to wake up and get out of bed and still live my life. The first thing I turned on the TV, because I was sitting on the couch just like, crying my eyes out, was a Yu-Gi-Oh show, like a new Yu-Gi-Oh show. It was a new episode, and I didn't know what was going on, but I just sat there and like hands in my head, like head in my hands, just like kind of watched it, just like very sad, watching that show. But now it's seared in my head. It's not Zexal. But it's one of the new ones. And so it's if these companies have any confidence in what these shows and what these networks can be, then they will continue to do them. But you save money by not having them up. I don't know how much money, but it'll be no money. TNT is getting rid of sports entirely. I don't know, since Inside the NBA is done and it'll be on ESPN next year, half of what it is. I wonder where that leaves, MLB on True TV and on TBS. I wonder where that leaves NHL on True TV and TNT. Where does that put soccer on USA? So, USA still airs soccer pretty much every day, I think. Early in the morning, they air that European Soccer League. But yeah, it's so interesting to me. We'll talk about that in a second, though. This comes from Alex Weprin, written at The Hollywood Reporter. CNN plans a podcast expansion push. CNN is going to be making more and more podcasts. This week, well, not this week. If you subscribe to SiriusXM, you see that that CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, even they push, and ESPN too, right? Did I say that? MSNBC as well. They just push their shows to an audio feed so that people can listen in their cars. I can listen to CNN this morning as I drive back from the gym. And this has become increasingly popular, especially with video, because they think video, they see, Joe Rogan or Alex, call her Daddy Alex, whatever the fuck her name is. They see them getting billions of views, and then they go, well, maybe we should start doing video. And then they put out video for their podcast, and they get like a couple thousand, a couple 100,000, if that, if they're lucky. But it's, bringing in more money than what a regular podcast would do. What is going on? They rebranded CNN Audio to CNN Podcast because, hey, people are calling them podcasts, and that's what's happening. It's a big step, and they are just trying to, CNN, I'm not talking about Warner as a whole, but they're just trying to differentiate themselves amongst the hard and tough world of media news. When it comes to New York Times, they took, speaking of, CNN, their boss, Mark Thompson, came from the New York Times. And he righted that ship that was the New York Times that was not doing too well. But when it comes to the New York Times, when they changed their front page, they made a significant change when it comes to the genres of how you look at everything. Do I have window capture available? We'll see. Hold on. I can't see. Yes. Okay. Here we go. So if you're watching the video, you can see all the YouTube videos I have up to that I need to do. But if you're looking at the video, you can see that on the New York Times, they split everything down the middle. So you have the news on the left side, and then they have everything else on the right side. So you have U.S., world, business, arts, lifestyle, and opinion, and then a line down the middle. And then they have their emphasis on audio, which is podcasts and narrated articles covering news, tech, culture, and more, games, cooking, Wirecutter, and The Athletic. The reason, lifestyle is different from The Athletic is because there's still news and stuff happening, and sports is really kind of like the extra thing that they're doing. But that's what it is. News is a multimedia platform now. It's not just one thing. You don't just watch it. You don't just read it. You have to listen to it. You get it via TikTok. You get it via YouTube Shorts. All these different aspects of how news works. Audie Cornish hosts a show in the morning, and she also does a podcast, which is, I think, bi-weekly. So every other day or every 2 days, something like that. I don't know. They're moving slowly into video podcasts. And also CNN also has they just started their digital subscription. I don't know how it's doing. Maybe people are signing up. In fact, let me look. CNN subscription numbers. I wonder if they would release those. No, CNN website subscription numbers. They have not been specific about it. Yeah, they haven't. It's been 8 months. What's going on? How many people are paying $4? Just saying. How many people are paying $4 to read CNN.com? Anyway, it's this idea of video podcasts and audio and video podcasts, just podcasts in general, is going to be something that people pay attention to, is not going to go away. But also you have to keep in mind that just because Joe Rogan and Call Her Daddy Alex and Smartless, just because they're making money hand over fist, doesn't mean that same situation is open for you. And CNN, because you are the CNN name, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to be, falling over themselves to get to you. Jake Tapper puts out that book about Joe Biden that he's been withholding information for the past year. It doesn't mean, people aren't, they're not going to equate. They could have, they probably do equate, which I do, because not even just because I work there, but because I do like CNN as a whole, except for the handful of people that were complete assholes to me. One of them is an anchor, and one of them is a producer. I'll say their names later. I probably said on LinkedIn logs. One of them hosts an afternoon show currently. Anyway, woman. And both were women. But the people, just because people equate news with CNN doesn't mean they want to equate podcasts and everything else with CNN and culture and everything. It's great that you can have something along the lines of Good Night and Good Luck air on CNN on Saturday and you make a big fuss about it. But on last Saturday. But you know, people aren't going to CNN for the catch-all, to be the be-all, end-all for everything that they have. All right, so we also know that this week at the Hollywood Reporter, Tony Maglio writes, majority of Warner Bros. Discovery $37 billion in debt will be spun off with TV networks, his CEO says. Unfortunately, they have not been able to get this debt thing under control. David Zaslav, even though he made $52 million last year, yes, 23 point some odd million is in stock options, but still he did not deserve $50 million, even though I think 20 was guaranteed. They decided to split off the company into two, and when you see what is how it is split, you're going to understand that David Zaslav really got off easy, and the poor sap that is taking care of the other half of the company is going to be screwed, more or less. Warner Bros. Discovery had a gross debt at the end of March of $38 billion, which is comprised of total debt, $37.4 billion, and financial leases, which is $535 million. The 2022 merger of Warner Media, which was then owned by AT&T and Discovery Incorporated, created more than $50 billion in debt. So they have to get rid of that debt. That came in terms of, you know, canceling shows and movies to write off on their taxes, to laying people off. Sorry. Laying people off twice. Early on Monday, June 9th, Warner Bros. Discovery announced a split that every single person saw coming. If you didn't know, you probably weren't paying attention. This is similar to how NBC Universal is splitting itself to form its new Versant, which is NBC Universal split itself, USA, MSNBC, CNBC, and E, and then named like Fandango. That's all one thing. Golf Channel, something that hits me very hard, at Oxygen, and then everything else is considered Comcast, which is like their movie studio and things like that. It's stuff that makes money, and Peacock. Now, in terms of WBD, Zaslav is going to get streaming in studios, which is going to be the successful stuff. Again, Warner Bros. Television, Warner Bros. Motion Picture Group, DC Studios, HBO and HBO Max, and their legendary film and television libraries, which means he's getting, let's just all encompass it as HBO Max and Warner Brothers Studios. They're getting, David Zaslav is going to run the most successful parts of the company. Whether you like the DC movies or not, the most successful part of the company. Whether you like the White Lotus or not, the most important part of the company. And successful. Then on the other side, the global networks, it's the stuff that's not doing too well. The entertainment, the sports, which they lost the rights to NBA games, and they're going to have to do something with NHL and MLB. And news television brands around the world like CNN, TNT Sports and the US, and Discovery, as well as free-to-air channels across Europe and digital products such as the profitable Discovery Plus streaming service and Bleacher Report. I saw something that made me a little bit concerned, is that, and this is total conjecture, but with the split of the company, I read something that from in an article, you know, what if they took out the Discovery Plus from HBO Max, and that would make HBO Max so much more of a lean product that it will have nothing to stand on. I think, you know, if you're looking at Discovery Plus, you are somebody like those people that subscribe to just Discovery Plus and not HBO Max are the people that specifically want that product of HGTV and Food Network and TLC and Discovery Channel. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I watch Food Network every day. I watch HGTV every day. However, having all of that stuff on HBO Max really bolsters itself up. We used to have every single episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, but now there's only like 3 seasons out of like the 56 that are there or something like that. I don't know. This is a tough thing to hear, because it kind of seems like when you split up a company, that one part of the company is going to get more of the attention, and that will be HBO Max and Warner Bros. Pictures, Warner Brothers. Just say Warner Bros. Warner Bros. And HBO Max will get the most attention, and these other things like CNN and TNT Sports and Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, by all means, will probably get the leftovers and not get as much attention, even if they're going to have their own boss in charge of them. I really would like to see some sort of dedication to these platforms, to Cartoon Network. I saw all this Annecy programming that came out this past week. The French Animation Festival that's happening right now, where all these companies and organizations come together and to celebrate animation, but also to promote new shows. And Jindy Tarkovsky, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, who is a Cartoon Network and Adult Swim stalwart. He has a couple of new shows. Pixar's got some new things out, but and Disney and I think Nickelodeon too. But it seems like all the news coming out of that festival really, is against of what Cartoon Network is at this point in time, and in that they don't have a lot of shows. Amazing World of Gumball is going to Hulu, and that was a Cartoon Network production. Even though we're getting older episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog and sometimes Teen Titans, and what is the show I'm thinking of? Ed, Edd n Eddy. I watched the clip yesterday, and I truly forgot the name of the show. We're getting shows like that airing at from 4 to 6 p.m. and then Adult Swim starts at 6 p.m. And even still, it's not new episodes of anything. You're only getting new episodes when it's Rick and Morty or Common Side Effects or Lazarus, and those only air at midnight on Saturday. And although Dragon Ball Daima is coming, and I don't have to subscribe to Crunchyroll for that. Yes, I set record. And those only air at like 11 or midnight or on Saturdays and Sundays. They need they have to bolster confidence in people so that they will continually come back. I wonder what the churn is on a streaming service like HBO Max compared to who they're obviously trying to go against, Disney Plus, even though that is somebody that they partner with, and Peacock and Paramount Plus, and yes, the big bad that is Netflix. I wonder, because obviously they see themselves going against Netflix. They're competing not just for Netflix, but also TikTok and also just like the world in general. The churn's got to be big because, for a month I didn't have HBO Max. And while I missed watching things like Gotham when I'm on the bike and the treadmill, I didn't necessarily, it wasn't calling to me until finally a show or a movie popped up that I wanted to see. That's the same thing I'm going through with Paramount Plus. I just wish that David Zaslav would, try to instill some sort of, again, confidence to the people that are here. I understand that they're trying to write down $50 billion, but Bob Iger came out and said that he doesn't care that Comcast, that NBC Universal and Warner Brothers had to deciding to split their companies because he trusts in Disney. That just makes them a lot stronger because they have their shit together. They didn't say that, but they have everything together, and they do. Look at them. Disney Plus is not losing a ton of money, and people are subscribed, and they're going to stay subscribed, to continue to stay subscribed because they are creating things that people want to see. They're putting out the Marvel shows and the Star Wars stuff, and they're even having some new stuff come out. And what I really appreciate about Disney is that when they have something that can obviously go to streaming, like The Bear or like Alien Earth, it's going to air on television. And they do the week to week thing. And then they also have the binge model, and everything works. They have shows like Deli Boys that just it's amazing what they're able to do. And then you look at HBO Max, and they're not just able to do what? I'm sorry. I see a New York Times thing. Mayor Bill de Blasio denounced Andrew Cuomo's bid for New York mayor in a candid interview, calling him vindictive and a bully. Not Bill de Blasio. Who's other? Oh, Michael Bloomberg endorsed Andrew Cuomo. That's right. But I look at Max. I pop it open, and yes, they're going to have the Minecraft movie next week, and yes, they have Duster right now, but oftentimes it is just crap after crap that I see on here. And I'm not talking about like Big Bang Theory and things that are popular. I'm talking about like things that are popular that I do not watch. I'm talking about, these TLC shows that are popping up on here and HGTV shows that I've never even heard of that have like one season, or like ID documentaries in quotes that have no business being in a banner next to Duster and the Mortician and Mountainhead and things of that nature. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you? I wonder if, what would happen. This is obviously something that can't happen, but what would happen if for a year they just like Warner Brothers, or a company like Warner Brothers, like Netflix or whatever, just decided to do everything the way that they used to do it 10 years ago, and how successful they could be. Yes, you can have your Last of Us, but also you'll get a lot more Duster. I have to stop. And Mountainhead. Mountainhead was great, by the way. I really enjoyed it. Okay, I'm done. Listen, if you like what you're here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com. You can see me talking to people sometimes. If you want to see a video version of this show, go to youtube.com/cpluscomedy. We're going to see a video version of the other podcasts. LinkedIn Logs, the Jobs podcast. And Late Night Lately, the late night show. If you want to see me talk to famous people, go to youtube.com/cpluscomedy and watch the interviews where I sit down with famous people and talk to them sometimes. Sometimes I try to make them laugh. Sometimes I try to get deep with them. Follow us on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at @C+Comedy, me at Chad Black White. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.